Hi, everyone. This week we're going to talk about freshening up your home for the spring and the types of projects and things that we do or the things that we think about when we're talking about getting a home ready for the spring season. So, we've had calls now for a couple months from clients of ours that know that they're going to get the exterior of their home painted this year. And one of the things that we're going to do as a spring project is we're going to walk around that home and we're going to check for rotted wood. We're going to check for soft areas and we're going to check for areas that need to be addressed because the last thing we want to do is actually paint over a problem. And so if we can fix that problem and then paint the house and paint and caulk and do all those things that we need to do entirely, then we're going to give them a longer lasting result. So when I think about spring projects, one of the first things I think about is making sure that everything on that house, all of that wood has a good coat of paint on it so that it doesn't get damaged throughout the summer season with all of the sun and then coming off of the winter, just checking everything. The second thing that I'm going to think about is, are your windows and doors operating correctly? Because if we end up doing the painting of somebody's exterior of their home, we want to make sure that we're not painting over a problem in that way as well. So when the weather turns nice, like we've got a beautiful day today, we're in the early spring, and we want to be able to operate the windows and doors and open things up and make sure that things are functional with the understanding that if there is a need to replace a window or a door or some issue related to that, it's likely not going to be a quick order item to get those replacement parts or to get those replacement windows or doors. So it puts a project on our radar that says, hey, we're going to be able to take care of this problem before we get to the fall or winter again, and then everything will be sealed up appropriately. Those are the primary things. I think it's interesting once you get beyond the idea that once you get beyond the concept of checking things and getting everything painted and freshened up, really the other thing that I would talk about is something that's kind of counterintuitive, which is this. Most of the time, when we get to say we're coming up on Thanksgiving, people say, hey, I'm getting ready to have everybody over to my home for Thanksgiving. I want to redo this kitchen, or I want to redo my gathering space for kitchen or for Thanksgiving or for Christmas or the holidays. And so they start thinking about inside projects right at the time that they're going to be stuck inside for the winter season. Conversely, they go outside and they start thinking about outside projects like decks or backyard landscaping projects or screen porch additions or things that are more exterior driven and outside driven. They start doing those projects and thinking about doing those projects when they're outside. And at that point, essentially what they're doing is they're tearing up their home or they're tearing up their yard and making that part of their space unusable in the time that they would most commonly want to use it. So what I would encourage you to do as a client is to think about the projects that you're going to want to have done inside your home that you would love to have done before the winter comes back again, before the fall sets in, and work on those projects that you are going to get done inside the house while you can be outside enjoying the beautiful weather, and kind of flip that script, if you will. I think that is a big deal because a lot of times when people take on larger projects, they're doing it at a time where they're stuck inside. And if we can make it more enjoyable, somebody who's doing their kitchen, if they can do that kitchen during the summer and they can be outside using their grill and cooking out and being out in the yard and being away from that project that's going to drive them nuts to live through, that's a really good option if you have the ability and the means to facilitate that. So uh, with that, I would say if you have any questions, let us know. Most of our spring projects are really related to just power washing and cleaning things up and making sure that deck boards are repaired and replaced and deck rails are in good shape and just kind of taking that walk around the outside and making sure everything is secure and that the spaces that you're going to look at and use and see are in good shape and ready to be long lasting as much as possible. So with that, if you have any questions, as always, let us know, and everybody have a wonderful week.